more conservative members in the Ohio House. I will say I think that the biggest thing that I've learned over the last 2+ years, having served on the House Education Committee, is that pre-K is very important for students and their ability to be able to learn once they're in school. And given the initiatives which we have changed on the third grade reading guarantee and trying to make sure that all students are brought up, the kids that are most vulnerable, which ultimately could lead to a large increase in costs down the road, especially as Senator Langer pointed out, whether it's high school dropouts or other issues that could lead to prison and so forth. These particular students in particular really do need the additional help. And I believe that these faith-based types of initiatives with the pre-K programs definitely can help and will help, I think, in the long run, improve the quality of lives of thousands, if not millions, of Ohioans and put them on a path to prosperity. And I think that this is definitely a valuable program, and I'm glad that we in the House are supporting it, and we look forward to seeing what the Senate does to maybe potentially expanding the funds available. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Phil Larson. I've had the distinct privilege of serving as a public school educator here in Ohio for 32 years. Started as a classroom teacher, became a middle school counselor, high school counselor, middle school assistant principal, high school assistant principal, high school principal, and the last 11 of the 32 years as a superintendent of schools. So that either means I'm bringing some inside expertise to the podium, or I'm a guy who couldn't keep a job. I'd like to think it's the former. The last 10 years, I've kept my feet in the education world by running an organization called Christian Educators Association. It's a professional association for Christian educators who work in the public schools. So I cover an inside view for the last 42 years, and there have been a lot of changes in 42 years. If we had 42 hours, I could share some of that. But one thing has remained consistent. If a child doesn't enter school ready to learn, we've got some real problems. I've seen it from the inside. A child comes to school, if it isn't on a level playing field with the other students, if everything works well and the child stays motivated, in 3 to 4 years, with a lot of intervention, they can catch up. But I can tell you, as a middle school counselor, I had my office full of little children who became so frustrated, so angry, and very often filled with rage that they jumped off the track, and everything we tried to do to get them back on track didn't happen. We've already heard that it's not only a problem in the schooling environment, it's a problem in life after school. And if you look at it financially, the cost not to invest it up front becomes phenomenally higher. Not only do we lose financially on this, but we lose human resources and the quality of life that I think most of us really believe we want to see people achieve and be successful and contribute to society rather than be supported by society. Raising a child in today's environment, I think, is a challenge for everyone. But I think we can all agree that there's a segment of our population that have an extra fiscal or economic challenge, maybe a societal challenge. And then there are the households with single parenting. Do you know in Ohio, of the children that come to us in public schools, 36% of them come from single parent families. That's not to say that success can't happen in that environment, but if you already have some economic issues and some social issues, that can just multiply that. And it's a travesty. It's a travesty fiscally, it's a travesty educationally, and it's a travesty culturally. I know we're thrilled to find out the House is open to funding at a $5 million level. I'm hoping that the Senate can increase that. Again, I'm one who looks at that tax bill also, as was mentioned before, and want to say stop. But the tax bill will become bigger if we don't spend it up front. Certainly want to salute Representative Brenner and Senator Lanier for the work they've done, and the others that have been part of that. But the battle, I think, is very, very important. We don't have any disposable children in this nation, in this state, and we need to invest in them up front, so we're not doing remedial, so we're not doing catch-up, and so that we're not ushering them as school dropouts who have a bigger challenge outside in our culture. Really appreciate your attention.